Hey folks, it's Mark out at Positively Peninsula, and it is Friday, May 23rd. It's around 11 o'clock. It was cloudy and overcast, but as you can tell, it has started to clear up. So this is, try not to be so quick and herky-jerky, but, oh, I know what I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know if you guys remember way back when, probably a year ago this time, and Chirpee, the birds that that nested in one of my flower things on one of these flower planters. Well, this year they made their nest in one of the hanging baskets, which was one of my original hanging baskets. And so, oh, by the way, look, I've graduated. I just picked this up today. Gives me a lot more freedom. Crutch was really not working for me. So, I know this will freak out the Chirpee and the rest of his family, or her family, whatever. But I'm going to see if we can see a chick. If they see me, they're going to go crazy because they're not in the nest right now. Oh wow, the little one's gone. And now there's a new egg. That's so weird. Unless that egg was there and the other one. Oh wow, it was just there yesterday. I could see its beak, it was looking up at me and everything. So Chirpee and his family have returned. And there we go. And I love my chime, folks. Amazon, I don't know what it was, 40 bucks. I believe it's made in Woodstock, New York. But here is, got some Japanese maples, which I'm very excited about. I got a red one and a green one. We'll see those in a sec. So this is the front. I guess we can go down. I've come around this side. Got the sprinkler going. I mean, look, folks, compared to even 2 months ago, and next time the guy comes to work, so I've gotten rid of all the soil near the house, next to the foundation and everything. I don't want any soil there. I don't want any plants or anything. So the second round of rhododendrons are coming out. The purple ones, the red ones are back by the house. But I also, we'll take a look at those when we go over there. But I got some orange azaleas. I've got all sorts of cool new plants that I've never even, or trees, bushes that I've never even heard of. A lot of them obviously I have, but there's some interesting ones. The arborvitaes up on the berm seem to be doing well. I got 5 more just to kind of take up the holes, the gaps. Yeah, the red twig dogwood is doing fantastic, getting ready here to go crazy with its blooming. I just really enjoy it's called a red twig dogwood, and if you look, I just like the variegated leaves. And, the flowers are not anything to write home about, but the red twig, with that variegated leaf is just really cool. We'll see if we can really get the red, because it really shows. Yeah, you can kind of really see the red of the twig. So I'll put impatiens in here. I got a light thorn thingy to frame the entrance. I did get new lighting, and I'll probably do a nighttime one, so you really see I got this stuff. And, very cheap at Walmart. But I really need to have this stuff moved. But yeah, things are looking really good. So these are all areas, the front here, areas that I had worked on. Coming September will be my 2nd anniversary from buying the place, and I think a lot has been accomplished in relatively short period of time. It hasn't even been 2 years. So these plants over here are really well established. I'm going to see if I can try to transplant them to the septic plateau, like in the center. I would love just like an area of just these ground covers that have done so well here. I want to be able to translate that out there. You can see and I will open up the umbrella. You see the umbrella. So over here we're going to be, I kind of have like areas. So this is towards the front. That's the driveway out to the cul-de-sac. And then car, everything is here. Okay, just so you can orient yourself. Those are the neighbors. And one of the neighbors. And so this side over here, this kind of side yard, it's been cleaned up, new soil, topsoil added. The stuff over there against the fence I'm going to keep wild, but in here it's going to be hydrangeas, which are blue, and then the red, it's a different type of red. I don't think it's the same one. No, it's not. As the red that I've already flowered and I've already trimmed out and everything, cut off, deadheaded, whatever. So these are all going to be hydrangeas. These are my original hydrangeas that look a little anemic compared to the ones I got at Deer Creek. Oh. So then the backdrop will stay natural. And then we do have one lilac at the front and then one different type of, I just really like the coloration, so that'll be the beginning of it. But otherwise it's going to be hydrangea, rhododendron, hydrangea, rhododendron, yada yada yada. I do have other areas. So I have like a coral bell, which are also known as heucheras. So you can see the heucheras out there. Right about. I always realize that I'm not pointing where I think I'm pointing when I look back at the videos. So these are the leftovers of the red. You can tell it's a different type of red. The white azaleas are just going crazy. These are called rosebud, white rosebud, and if you look at them, they do kind of look like rosebuds, hence the name, I'm assuming. I did get a matching umbrella pine for over there, and what I really like, I just like how unique it is. It doesn't seem like a real pine. It almost doesn't seem real. And then this is all the new growth, which is really cool. Very cool. I don't think the one I got recently, this one I got a while ago, obviously, but I do need to open up the garden, but I'll go into the garden afterwards. We'll end up at the garden. So you can see I have areas that still need to be done. I just keep moving I am putting a path here because I found out that I was just having to traipse through the mud. Not mud, but the dirt. And then it's going to be like that little road over there. That little, it's right there. And there can be lupines, lilac lupines, and we can go over there. So I'm making this a road. I've already cleared it, but I'm hoping that the guy will the guy will be able to come tomorrow and give me 10 hours and maybe 10 hours on Sunday. That would be just fantastic. So now we're on the side. There's the red twig dogwood. So now we're on the opposite side in the back. So this is the road. I'm expanding the growing areas. So reconfiguring what I had originally, because otherwise it's going to be just a ton of rock, but it needs to be cleaned out. There's the green maple, Japanese maple, and there's the red one back there. Right there, and here's the green one. I kind of like pointing with a cane. It's kind of cool. It's not like a real cane. It's not like a cane. This is called a smoke bush. That yellow, which I just like having different colors, especially yellows and oranges. So yes, this is going to be pea gravel. You could see that this was an original rhododendron from when I bought the place, and it was about this big right there, and it looked so anemic and looked ill, and now look at it, and you could tell it's different than the ones I got, the sun rhododendrons, because you could tell by the color. This is more purple, this is more, I don't know, whatever it is, pink, I guess. So this is kind of like a sage, salvia, mint, catmint, stuff like that area. Because these are sages here. And over here we have like the coneflowers. These are all from last year. It's nice to see them come back. And then these are the rudbeckias, which are like black-eyed Susan family. And then coneflower, which is also known as echinacea. So this is the heuchera. And I've got to weed this. I got a new type of weeder, which is an old type of weeder. But I just needed to get something that I could do standing up as opposed to trying to get down and bending my foot and whatnot. But these are also known as coral bells. Heucheras are coral bells. I just like total variation in colors and things like that. I'm looking at it now, I'm like, wow, I actually need some green. I try to avoid as much green as possible just because it's kind of boring. Everything's green up here. This is going to be kind of like a peony area. A couple of foxgloves that are kind of framing, and over there, kind of framing the entrance to the garden. I'm going to fix this. I don't like this. First of all, it's raised. So I'm going to clear this out and then not have pea gravel running into the soil and have it be just this. And then the pea gravel will be behind it. But they need to be leveled. That one's like not even buried at all. So this is all actually kind of a bee balm area, a lot of bee balms. I'm going to make this kind of like lilies and cosmoses and kind of just like, I don't know, weirdo plants. Not weirdo, but just different. So I do need to weed and clean all this up, but we'll get there. This is a little mountain, which is the old stump from probably a very, very large tree that they unceremoniously chopped down. The spurges are doing great. That's those weird looking things in the back. And different colors and textures. This is all going to be kind of like ground covers. You can see that there's a lot of creeping jenny. Let me open up the... Oh, the sun went away. So the next area besides the area over there to do is going to be... I'm going to go ahead and do it right Kind of fun. Oh, I just got to show you all these. So this was the experimental plot from last year. This was like the only thing I had. I'd cleared just this little area of the septic plateau, and I'd put in all these different types of ground covers just to kind of like test, you know, which ones are going to be best. And so they are just really looking cool as they come into their own. I mean, check that out. The yellow tops and the multicolored whatevers, and then you got, I don't know, they're just really growing crazy right now. And we haven't even really had that much sun, so I know that this week, for about the next week, I know that we're going to be having pretty much just sun, no rain. So I think in the last one, so this needs to be cleared. This is the side, and I've got to do something about all the brush. I want to figure that out. I'm not happy with that. But this is going to get cleared out. And it's only going to get cleared out to the natural part. You know, there's kind of like a line, you know, and I'll probably do creeping Jenny on the high points, things like that, things that'll kind of grow down and spread out. I'm going to open up the garden. Very low tech in terms of my little blocks and everything. Okay. So I bought some seeds today at the Ace Hardware place, and I got watermelon, cantaloupe, things that grow on the ground that need to grow. So I was going to put them like the strawberries. We have the strawberries, and I have the strawberries in the fruit tree area. And we'll go out and look at, actually let's look at that now. So I got these evergreen clematises and then regular clematises, which will lose their leaves. These are the ones that I was familiar with. But it's going to be really cool because I have the evergreen ones, I think, are all white, and then the other ones, the deciduous ones, are all colored. So there's red, purple, pink, I guess, and then purple is down over there. We'll take a look at that. But these are climbers. They have like a woody vine thing, but look at these flowers, folks. Look at this. I mean, seriously. And I have the two little white ones kind of flanking the gate. So I do need to plant them. So one of the problems we had, and I say we because the worker dude has a stake in all this too, just because he does all the work. But you can see here that we had a big rain, I want to say about 5 days ago, maybe a little bit less. And you can see, because the land underneath the topsoil and everything, the original land is so poor, it doesn't really filter water. It's like hard pan, clay, and rock. So water doesn't filter very easily. So if we get a heavy rain, but you could see what happened is it obviously pooled up there, and then we had like a flash flood, I guess, or a slow moving river, but it cleared all the topsoil off down to the base underneath soil. So I'm of the mind to put in, and just like over there, I'm going to put in a little road, a little path of pea gravel, you know, twofold. And we have to build that all up. We have to put more topsoil in over there. I don't know if I really want to go into the dirt, the soil right now, because these are like my cleanest sneakers. I need to wash sneakers too, so. So I figure it's better to just make this a rock bed. And we just have to add soil. Oh, and I'm going to do a splinter little road off that way. And I'm good with that. Maybe make them a little bit narrower. We'll see. So anyway, there's the purple as opposed to the, and so I kind of did red, pink, purple, red, pink, purple. And then each one has their evergreen white. So it should be super cool in the future. But look at the size of those freaking flowers, folks. I mean, that's just craziness. Love it. Very happy with it. And then the evergreen clematis look a little bit different, but that's cool. The white will look nice against the green deer fencing. You could tell I've been harvesting. I got to keep an eye on the time. I'm at 50%. Okay. I have been harvesting parsley and using that in my cooking. These are two different types of parsley. And then tarragon and thyme. And so over here is kind of the lettuce. And I have been harvesting that, obviously. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Whatever that schmutz is. All right. Now, the other thing that I've done is I planted corn here. Here and here. Just to give it a shot. I'm not a big corn fan, but I thought it might be pretty cool to be able to have some corn on these furrows. And the other thing is to finish up the garden here. You can see that this has been finished here, but those are blueberry bushes. Anyway, so there's going to be another big furrow, basically this line. Although I do need a pathway. There's going to be another big furrow that's going to be going this way. And that's going to be perfect for things like, I could do like sunflowers. Oh, that's what I forgot. Sunflowers, corn, things that are tall. That won't block the light. So this cherry tree is doing great. The wildflowers in those two sections are doing great. I've still got to thin all these. In fact, I probably should just take the ones that are like doing really well and let them survive. But the peas are growing, I think, really well, packed in like that. Hopefully that they'll produce a lot. These are the other peas that I bought, store-bought. Oh, actually the kale looks like it may need to be harvested. I guess I'll see if it grows back. These are the green beans. Hopefully they'll take advantage of the mesh. I reused some deer fencing to use as like trellis. Why not? This is regrowth of lettuce, the original lettuce from the original stuff. All the berries are doing great. They've already either are flowering or have flowered. Those are cauliflowers. These are broccolis. These are onions, and I probably should thin those. So anyway, here's the back side. So this is an evergreen, and then here we have an evergreen. And I also got a bunch of, I got like honeysuckle and trumpet vine, and I'm going to use those for the deer fencing along that way, which I think is going to just give me, I'm really not looking for privacy, I'm looking for noise reduction like that. And so I think the more green we have, etc., the better it's all going to be. So all the way along, and it's only the spaces that had like really open caps. So I'm going to plant those. I've been avoiding it because I don't want to get in there and plant them because it's a hassle. I'm waiting for the guy, but he's been doing a painting job. But knew that was going to happen. So yeah, so these are the sun rhododendrons, the same ones from last year. I just continued it all the way around. But this is kind of informal landscaping, folks, but I think it's kind of turned out okay. You know, this is very amateur stuff. It's just I enjoy it, but when I look at, this is basically what it all looked like. The whole yard looked like this garbage. It was just like scrub. Nothing would grow except dandelions, weeds, and other weeds. But I've noticed a huge, I mean, I saw a swallowtail butterfly that I don't think I've seen since I was a kid.